Carl Szabo is here, Vice President, General Counsel for NetChoice, and a professor of Internet Law at George Mason's Scalia Law School. Professor Szabo, how are you doing, sir?
Doing well, thank you.
Great for you here. So what does this do for our jobs here in America?
Yeah, I was reading about AI recently, and I read a couple of quotes, and they said it will destroy truth, it will destroy an entire profession, and will destroy privacy. And the article actually wasn't talking about AI at all. It was talking about photography and photographs. And we have seen how photographs can be made to lie. We see it every couple of days. Famously, William Randolph Hearst said, "You give me the pictures, I'll give you the war," which led us into the Spanish-American War. They'll destroy a whole profession. The concern then was the annihilation of painters. But what we've actually seen, because of photographs, we have a whole profession created called photography. And they'll destroy our privacy. Well, privacy changes all the time. We have multiple cameras pointing at us all the time. We actually kind of like it. So what we have seen then and what we are seeing now are basically the same concerns, just fast forwarded 100 years ago. Now, I'm not saying that nothing will change. In fact, AI will greatly change our society and the way we operate. But the wonderful thing is, what we've seen time and time again is when new technology comes online, it creates more jobs than it takes away. And so really excited to get into that with you as we kind of digest how AI will change the landscape of the job market.
Yeah, let's do that. And then I want to actually pivot into how it'll help us or change how we fight wars too, because it will change everything. But when I first heard about AI when it comes to jobs, someone told me, it'll affect like radiologists. It just won't affect lower income people. It'll affect doctors and how doctors do their job. And we'll have no more need for radiologists to look at scans of cancer cells when AI can do it 1,000 times faster and more effectively. So who will the AI affect?
Yeah, it will affect almost everyone. Now, amazingly, blue collar jobs are actually the ones that are most empowered by AI, because at the end of the day, we still need people to build houses. We still need electricians. We still need plumbers. We need people to actually do work. And the work is going to become more complicated, which requires more skilled people across the board. Now, when it comes to things like radiologists, so radiologists look at mammograms and cancer diagnosis, but they're not going to be eliminated either. Now, we've seen this time and time again. So I'm an attorney, right? So if you're a lawyer who doesn't know how to use a computer, well, then, yeah, you're going to be up a hill. And if you're a radiologist who doesn't know how to use AI, you're going to be in the same position. We're not eliminating radiologists. We are eliminating radiologists who don't know how to use the new technology. And that's where the new opportunities lie. We need to actually begin training the skills. We need to begin teaching the ways to leverage the technology so that people can do more with less. So we're not going to eliminate jobs. We're actually going to make people more efficient and allow them to do more using technology.
I'm totally with you for the next 0 to 15 years. But let's go 30 years out. Why have a radiologist? What's the point of even having any?
Yeah, and you know what? 30 years out, that profession may not be needed anymore. We don't have elevator operators today because we go in and we push a button and it takes us to the floor we need. We don't have carriage drivers because they've been replaced by cars. And you know what? A lot of people who used to have to work on the farm their entire lives don't have to do that anymore. Their kids can go off to college and do other things in their lives because of combines and things like that. So anytime a new piece of technology comes out, there will be job displacement over time, but it's not overnight. And the wonderful thing is, at the end of the day, people will find jobs. They do find jobs. And we are facing right now some of our lowest unemployment numbers in history. So if anything, we need to make it easier for people to find the jobs that they want and get out of the jobs that they're stuck in.
How will AI change how we fight wars?
Yeah, so one of the things that I really get excited about, not only is AI going to be just truly transformative for stopping things like cancer, inventing the new medication to kind of save our lives during the next pandemic, when it comes to AI and warfare, it's going to be truly instrumental. One of the things that AI is really, really good at is looking at tons of pieces of data and drawing connections kind of like imagine somebody from the movie A Beautiful Mind, where they've got all the pieces of paper with the lines of yarn and push pins. AI can make connections in milliseconds that we couldn't even comprehend. So think about trying to find Osama bin Laden. When it came to 9/11, we had the intelligence, we had the information, we just could not connect the dots to stop the terrorist attack, nor could we connect the dots to find him. AI can do that, and it will save lives. Similarly, in the war going on right now in the Middle East, Israel's Iron Dome, which shoots down incoming missiles from Hamas, that is done through artificial intelligence. That is done through calculations, where it's able to calculate incoming missiles and launch an intercept within milliseconds. We're putting that on our battleships, and this will save American lives if we are allowed to continue to develop and innovate it.
Yeah, if we have it first, I think would be part of it as well, if we're able to use it the best way. Okay, so you paint a rosy picture, Professor. Give me some negatives. Give me a dystopian view. Give me something bad that you think could be used. If we're not careful, we need to think about this.
Yeah, and everything needs to be done intelligently. So typically conversations devolve into AI is the Terminator or AI is racist. And fortunately, we have laws on the books today to address much of these concerns. Artificial intelligence is heavily regulated today. I'll say that again. It's heavily regulated today. Hundreds, if not thousands of laws today applied to artificial intelligence. Let's pick on illegal discrimination. So a lot of people are worried that there will be AI used for illegal discrimination in job selection. That is illegal today. It's illegal whether you do it as a person, an individual, or use a computer. And that's where we have laws that just need to be applied to artificial intelligence. With respect to the Terminator scenario, perhaps maybe we don't connect artificial intelligence to our nuclear arsenal. That's a way to prevent that potential outcome. And then when it comes to regulating artificial intelligence, one of the worst things that we can do is outlaw it, stop it, or pause it. We're seeing calls, whether it's from the president on down, in Congress and at the state level, to pause development. And all that means is that the United States will not have this technology, but all the bad actors, because bad actors don't follow the law, will have this technology and they will weaponize it against us.
Yeah, it's definitely true. All right, Carl Szabo, last one to talk about. We'll do it again. He's Vice President of Net Choice, and he's over at the wonderful George Mason Law School. Professor, thank you, sir.
Thank you.
All right, very interesting there from the professor. I've never called for banning this, to be clear. All I want us to do is to go in with eyes wide open and for us all to make a decision, to make a wise decision about whether you want to be in. I want us to be intentional. On my podcast, Politics by Faith, a couple weeks back, we talked about Jonathan Edwards and his 70 resolutions for his life. And one of them was to examine carefully and constantly what that one thing is in me which causes me in the least to doubt of the love of God and direct all my forces against it. So I just love the constant thinking, evaluating, examining, and then finding a thing. And so it's like being intentional, but then putting all my forces against it, right? If you don't like it, if it's bad, I'm out. And I just want us to have that intentionality and to not think that, oh, it's new, it's shiny, okay, without considering, is it good? And is it right? And should I be using this? A lot of people are like, oh, you conservatives, you're just so scared of this. No, I'm not scared. I'm repulsed. or it's like a revulsion. I've Walter Kern, I think, called it a spiritual gag reflex, right? I'm just, oh, this is bad, I don't want this. Again, maybe good things, sure. But all tech comes at a cost. They all come at a cost. And I just want us to be aware of the costs. I can't imagine how bad AI could be. Maybe some of us can. And that's why we're out. But it's up to you. Which way are you going to choose?